Let's now talk about security roles and responsibilities. Now, IT security professionals are expected to be competent in a wide range of disciplines, from network to application design and even the procurement of security resources. Now, some of the key competencies for any cybersecurity professional would include things like being able to participate in risk assessments, source, install, and configure security devices and software. Of course, set up and maintain document access control, monitor audit logs, and review user privileges. And of course, in case of any security-related incident, we should be able to respond accordingly and of course report the incident as well. And then create and test business continuity and disaster recovery plans, and also participate in security training and education programs. Now, there is this thing called the security policy that's very often used in companies, and you may have come across one before. It's basically a formal statement that will describe or define how security will be implemented within an organization and can contain multiple individual policies. I'm pretty sure you may have seen one before. The security policy might dictate how you're supposed to use a USB drive, or maybe you cannot use a USB drive on your workstation, what kinds of websites you are allowed to access, things like that. All that will be contained in the security policy. So employees, they must be aware of their responsibilities, and the structure will depend on the size and the hierarchy of the organization. Now, when it comes to security roles, overall internal responsibility, it might be allocated to a dedicated department run by somebody who could be the director of security, the chief information security officer, or just simply the chief security officer. It all depends on the company. Now, managers, they may have responsibility for a domain, such as maybe like building control, the ICT, or maybe even accounting specifically. Now, technical and specialist staff will have the responsibility for implementing, maintaining, and monitoring the policy. There may be dedicated security administrators, such as like an information system security officer, the ISSO. Now, the non-technical staff, like the regular employees, they do have the responsibility of complying with the policy, because your company may have the very best security administrators, you may have the best firewalls, the strongest security policy, and so on. But if the regular employees fail to adhere to those policies, they might end up bringing down the entire network security infrastructure. So external responsibility for security lies mainly with directors or owners. And now there's this thing called the Security Operations Center, the SOC. You should know what this is. It's basically a location where security professionals monitor and protect critical information assets across other business functions, such as like in finance, operations, and marketing. Now, these kinds of security operation centers are typically employed by much larger corporations, such as like your government agencies, or maybe even a healthcare company. And there's the example right there from IBM. As you can see, this is an example of the Security Operations Center for IBM. Now, what about the DevSecOps? Well, network operations and the use of cloud computing make ever-increasing use of automation through software code. Now, DevOps, this is a cultural shift within an organization to encourage much more collaboration between developers and system administrators. So the DevSecOps extends the boundary to security specialists, reflecting the principle that, hey, security is a primary consideration at every stage of software development. So this is known as shift left. Security tools can be automated through code. And if I wonder what DevSecOps is, it simply stands for Development, Security, and Operations. And we also have the incident response. What happens when there is a security breach? What happens when a company has been hacked? Well, we're going to have a dedicated cyber incident response team, the CIRT, It could also be called the Computer Security Incident Response Team, the CSIRT, or the Computer Emergency Response Team, the CERT. We'll have them as a single point of contact for the notification of security incidents. Thank you for watching, and as always, I will see you in the next class.